Before I begin, I'd just like you to be aware that we have Mandy. She's our interpreter. And she'll be relaying what I'm saying. Okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah, thank you for this opportunity.
Well, thank you for this opportunity to talk.
I've been talking about deaf and hard of hearing people.
Talking about deaf and hard of hearing people, as we are now, is probably the first ever thing we've done in NHS England as a whole.
I will be talking a bit about this.
I'll be talking a bit about myself and my experience. Some of my views will be similar to some members of the deaf and hard of hearing subgroup. Not all of them.
I started my current role.
I started my current role
1st of April.
On the 1st of April. That was just as we fell into the lockdown with a new team who I've not met yet.
Physically.
We obviously talked about how everyone was doing.
I said, I'm fine.
And I remember I said, I'm fine. I said I'm used to this sort of thing because when I was a student at university, it was around April, and I gave myself a self-imposed lockdown so that I could study for my finals.
Sounds a bit crazy.
Sounds a bit crazy, but
I quickly fell into the mode of working.
I quickly fell into the mode of working from home.
But I learned to do things this way.
But I learned a few things as well.
I've been used to talking online to many people.
I've been used to talking online to many people.
As a deaf person.
Through FaceTime.
But I learned very quickly
we were given a lot of tools. That we were given a lot of tools. Teams.
I've got an iPad.
I've got an iPad as well for the interpreter.
We've made some improvements to the screen.
We've made some improvements to the screen for when we use Teams. We've adopted the hands-up approach.
We've got thread, we've got captions.
We've got chat, we've got captions.
But what struck me is that
the
system was giving me some benefits.
While the system was giving me some benefits,
probably some cases more than it would for
other people, it was giving me
the opportunity to have quality
conversations.
By seeing people on screen.
But only if it was a few numbers.
But that was a great benefit.
But that was a great benefit for me.
But as it would be for other people.
As it would be for other people.
But on the other hand,
when you get a number of people talking, I know for many of you, you probably find it quite challenging. So you rely on the chat function and so on. But in my case, I didn't realise how hard it is
to keep up with everything
that was going on.
That's because obviously
I have to keep my eye on the interpreter
to
follow what is being said.
If I look
away,
I lose the
train of the conversation.
If I try the captions, it's
not that helpful.
Because you still have to guess what people are saying.
You still have to guess what people are saying. And who is saying what.
I can't discriminate sound.
I can't discriminate sound.
I can hear when people are laughing.
I can hear when people are laughing, yes.
But that's a conversation.
When there's a conversation going on, who's speaking?
I don't follow that.
I don't follow that.
The distance between what was benefiting.
So the distance between what I was benefiting from and what I was not benefiting from has been quite extreme. When using Teams.
And that distance has been more than what it would be for human people.
And that distance has been more than what it would be for hearing people. That can create quite a lot of fatigue at times.
So what I tried to do.
So what I tried to do successfully at times
was to have a quiet word with
whoever was chairing the larger meetings.
To explain that.
Just to explain that my communication is visual.
And my interpreter only has one pair of hands.
And my interpreter only has one pair of hands.
She will need a break.
She will need a break. She's meant to have a break every 20 minutes. But there were times when people were forgetting.
And the meeting would go on for
and the meeting would go on for an hour and a half.
So it's some situations.
So it's some of those situations where it's being quite deliberate.
Because you've got to pluck up the courage.
You've got to pluck up the courage and be humble to say, by the way, can we have a break?
So some of this has started to get better now.
So some of this is starting to get better now.
But I think people need to recognize.
But I think people need to recognise.
It's the case for many people.
It's the case for many people that our communication is really visual.
So I would say that inclusion and culture.
I would say that inclusion and culture really is only as good as the way people feel comfortable communicating.
So to be able to give each other the chance.
So to be able to give each other the chance, space, and the time to talk.
It's really the key to it all.
That's really the key to it all.
I think it's the lack of people's lived
I think it's the lack of people's lived experiences in deaf and hard of hearing people.
That is the challenge.
That is the challenge.
So I try to explain it very simply to people.
I try to explain it very simply to people.
That's one thing.
There's only one thing that can symbolise
the collective needs of a
deaf or hard of hearing person.
Forget about the ears.
Forget about the ears.
Hearing aids,
devices. Forget that. Just think about the eye.
So if I'm looking away,
I'm not following anything.
If I'm writing,
I'm not following.
So that kind of hints to
increase the level of awareness.
But there needs to be more of this.
But I think there needs to be more of this.
What I've noticed is that people
are starting to use their hands a bit more.
So I believe that we've got an opportunity.
I believe that we've got an opportunity from a service improvement perspective
to improve the inclusivity
of our team conversations for everyone.
We can use both signs.
If we can use more signs.
A lot of people would say bye.
A lot of people will say bye and wave their hand or hello.
Some people will go thumbs up.
Some people will give a thumbs up. All's well. So that's a start.
That was about one thumbs up. That means very good.
One thumbs up, but you could also do two. That means very good.
If
you want to congratulate someone, then you do this.
Well done.
Well done. Circle the thumbs.
Like that. Or if you want to.
Or
just show your view without saying anything.
If you want to just show your view without saying anything, you could say, "Are you sure?" So flat hand down.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. So shaking that flat hand on the palm.
Kind of helpful.
So that's just kind of helpful.
It lightens up the intensity of some conversations.
It lightens up the intensity of some conversations.
And that's agree.
And that is agree. Two hands together.
And that's finish.
And that's finish.
And that's time out.
And that is time out at tea.
That's it.
So,
and finally, thank you.
And finally, thank you, flat hand from the chin. Thank you.
I think we need to explore this.
So I think we need to explore this.
And some people are really keen to do that.
And I know some people who are already keen to do that.
So try to sum up
what just to sum up what I've said.
Fine, but
I'm fine.
We can do it.
But I'm working on it.
Working to improve awareness of pain.
Working to improve awareness of how we can improve our Teams meetings.
And I think what improvements we could do for
that. I think what improvements we could do for deaf and hard of hearing people
many things
will improve many things for everyone else as well.
Okay, thank you. That's my
part. Thank you. That's my part.